Alright, so first I want to start by saying Kalalal Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakodash, which is to give all praises to the name of the Father, the name of the Son, the name of the Holy Spirit. I also want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of James Plum Stone, and to you, I can expressing this truth in sincerity, the Purulek, Shalom. This is Brother Kanan from James, Jamaica, here with a quick lesson. And in this lesson, this is just highlighting law, or technically the government of Jamaica is planning and executing, some are taking some legal actions for what they deemed as misinformation, or basically disinformation or misinformation technically. And there is two ways to look at it, because really and truly this is going to affect the ministry. You know what I mean? I don't want to speak about the ministry. I was talking about what we as prophets teach, which is the Bible. And we know for a fact that what we prophesy from the Bible, which is what the Bible is saying, a lot of these, not a lot, all of these so-called leaders are against that, even though they claim to be so-called Christian-minded or from a Christian background, right? So when we speak of the MOTB, which is the mark of the system that's gonna, or the beast that's gonna take in control, which is the RFID chip, they will denounce that and all these things. But at the same time, we are supposed to understand that truth is essential, and truth is what every single person, especially you Israelites, should stand for. And once you're standing for truth, you're standing for Yahweh Shem Yahshai, which the truth is the scriptures. And I mean, the Bible says, sanctify them to thy truth, thy word is truth. Now, I'm going to play the video on screen, and we're going to go dissecting it, because a lot of people have some misconcept that they are free and they should say whatever they want without any repercussion, any action taken against them. So they will say anything at all freely, and that is not the case. That should not be the case. You know what I mean? That should never be the case. The scriptures is not with that. The scriptures is against bearing false witness on another person, that is breaking the law, and a lot more. You know what I mean? As the Bible says, sanctify the truth, already is truth. So we are not with lies. Also, the Bible says, lie not one to another. Right? Now, we again, put in context, we know that the government and the bigger heads that are above these government that are controlling them, they have a bigger agenda, and it's to silence everything. But again, we still have to put everything in context and not come off as if we're totally, one side. We're balanced in what we teach you, which is Bible says about a just balance. Now let me start playing the video and then get me some scriptures.
As we begin, I always start with a few things that are noteworthy, and I think the first one is to speak to issues related to misinformation and disinformation. There's a lot of talk about this area, and I think it's important that we clarify. The administration has always been and will always be deeply committed to protecting democracy in Jamaica. And we are deeply committed to protecting democracy from any threats that there are. And governments around the world are dealing with this issue of misinformation and disinformation, especially on social media. And we've seen it. We know what happens. Anyone can say anything, and it is amplified around the country and around the world. And it is important that as we protect the rights of our people and protect the right to freedom of expression and speech, that at the same time it is grounded in truth. And so we love the robust debate And I say it all the time, it is important in a democracy that we can have dissent and that we can say, you're not doing good as a government, we don't like what you're doing, or you need to do this better. That's what a democracy is. And that's fine, and that's what we want to encourage, but not encouraging persons to post blatant lies online that then fuel a lot of this issue of disinformation and misinformation. And so it's very important that we understand that what the government is saying is that what is posted on social media needs to be based in truth. And in that vein, what we have said is that where there is
Right. So agree. It should be truth, but do they believe in truth? Do they know what is truth? And what is the standard for truth, and where do they turn to find out what is truth? Because if it's a so-called white man that says that we evolved from monkeys, or there was a big bang theory that created the earth, or all the other lies that are pushed, if that's what we are getting, or those leaders or those people we are getting what is supposed to be as truth from, not saying that they won't say any truth at all, but majority of the most important information that they will push will be a lie. So where is the source of truth, and how do we rectify that this is factual or not? And at the end, it goes back to the scriptures. Now we could do the same thing in speaking about people slandering, because we at GMS have been slandered, and if we were carnal minded and was with the society suppose our elders could have gone to court about filing lawsuits, because you had people that went on the internet just as well, are going to the streets, and they would have defamed us by calling us names that were not true, and we could have proven it simple that these people are lying on us, which the scriptures tell us not to bear false witness. But again, we're not carnal, because we know that there is a heavenly judge, there's a heavenly father that is going to judge each and every one based on what they would have said. So again, this freedom of speech, and you are okay to say whatever you want to say, is not biblical. It is an evil thought. Wanted is you're not speaking truth, right? And every single one that is not speaking truth will be judged. Now let me get into some scriptures. Now, censorship, right? Let's start with the censorship, because again, the Bible speaks about everything really. So this is Titus 1 and verse, let's start from 10. It says, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, liars, right? Especially they of the circumcisions, whose mouth must be stopped. So there are persons out there, whether for vain glory or for wealth or whatever, they will go out and tell lies, you know what I mean, to attain whatever their art is set on. You know what I mean? So the Bible is saying that these people must be stopped. Right? So let's continue. Whose mouth must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they are not, for filthy lucre sake. Right? So we could continue. It says one of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said the Christians are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies. So again, liars, yo. Or we can point to the government where they would have said a lot of things that they would have run with, that they themselves did not brought up these, but they are joined unto liars, and they become liars. And we can prove that those are misinformation as well. So who is going to judge those persons for misinformation? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. because the so-called white man that gave them the lies not gonna judge them for those lies, because that's what he's about. He's about pushing lies. Now let's get to some more scriptures. All right. So for those who think that, oh, my mouth and you're free to say whatever you want to say, again, the Bible is not with that. This is Psalms 12 and verse. Let's start from verse 2. It says, they speak vanity, everyone with his neighbor, with flattering lips, and with a double heart do they speak. The Lord shall cut off all flattering lips, and the tongue that speaketh proud things. Who have said with our tongue will with our tongue, sorry, I'm forward again. Who have said with our tongue will we prevail, our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? Yes, Jake like tell you that. A my mouth, my free to talk, I want to talk. That's a mindset that Jake developed which is wrong. You know what I mean? Even back then in the times of Israel, you could put to death just by saying the wrong thing, Even now, even in society, if you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, at the wrong place, that might be your last word. You have to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You have to know when to even speak certain things. I want to be silenced because even your own words can come back to haunt you. You know what I mean? So it's not just talk as if you want. No, there's an order, and there's an order in the truth as well. And I mean, you have to know your time and place for everything, and that goes with also speaking. Now let me get to the next precept. This is Matthew 12, and let's just jump to 36. It says, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. So you're not going to just talk what you want to talk and say what you want to say and expect that God is not going to hold you accountable for what you're saying. It doesn't work like that. Every idle words, and I mean, will be justified or condemned based on where it falls, if it is wrongful or right. So it's again, bearing false witness on persons is never right. Doesn't matter who, even if a person is wicked, you still do not have the right to bear false witness on that person. What you're saying should be in truth and truth only. And that's the justification. So we don't just rush with anything that is published in the media. We have to fact check our information and again, stick to the scriptures, stick to the prophecies, because again, they are still going to find what the Bible is saying as misinformation, even though they proclaim themselves as Christians or God believing or God fearing people. But at the same time, when they do that, they're not just attacking you, they're attacking God, and by doing that, God will defend you and protect you because you're standing up for Him, right? So with that, I hope someone was edified. I hope this lesson made sense to the hopeful elect. Well, eventually it's going to make sense to the elect. You know what I mean? So that's what I say. Kala Lal Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Hakakodash. Again, love answer the apostles, and of James Whitman Stone. Take them out there. Shalom.